This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Rachel Fife.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Now, if you're feeling unusually tired or unable to concentrate, you could have buildup in your colon, and colon hydrotherapy could be exactly what you need. And luckily, that resource is closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Melissa Ozukum, with Your Inner Health. Melissa, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I am doing really, really well. And I got to tell you, we're really excited to learn about your business. So tell us about your company.
So Your Inner Health was actually established over, 17 years now. I bought the business about 4 years ago from the previous business owner. Our heart is really to give just a holistic environment and make something that could be awkward, not awkward at all. We are very passionate about helping people feel better from the inside out. Would you like to hear a brief explanation of what a colonic is?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So a colonic is a 40-minute session. So I tell people to allow yourself an hour in and out of the clinic. You go back with the colon therapist. They're going to guide you through the whole process. They're going to help to insert a speculum through the rectum area. And then it's a series of fills and releases of water through the large intestine. Essentially, what we're trying to do is soften the old waste that can actually get stuck on the sides of the colon. Even if you go to the bathroom every single day, you can have buildup of anywhere from 5 to 20 pounds of old waste in your gut any given time. So our goal is essentially to rehydrate that old buildup, get that to come out so you can have better bowel movements, less brain fog, less fatigue, less bloating, which I feel like a lot of people struggle with and they just think it's normal. I have a lot of people that are like, I don't know what to do. I eat healthy, I exercise, I do all these things, but I just can't get rid of this bloat. A lot of times there could be buildup in there. You eat another meal and it's actually pushing on that buildup. So our colon's job is to actually absorb all the water and electrolytes from our food. So if anything gets caught in one of those pockets when it's trying to travel through, the longer that sits on the side of your colon, the harder it becomes turning into cement like rocks. And that's how you can kind of get that buildup in there. So all my girls are very passionate. I always tell people everybody here is very motherly and caring and loving. So some people get very nervous their first time. And I tell people, don't worry. Each girl here is going to take really good care of you.
That's wonderful. How did you get into this business?
I had a lot of gut issues myself. I used to struggle with a lot of bloating, uncomfortability. I was actually going to a naturopath for over a year. He put me on a bunch of different supplements. He told me to cut all these things out of my diet. And after a year of seeing him, he was finally like, I think you should try a colonic. And I tried a colonic and I could not believe how much came out of my body, first of all, and how much better I felt. And they encouraged me to do a follow-up session the next day. And at first I was like, oh, like they're just trying to sell me on this. And I was like, but I'll give it a try. I went back the second day and even more came out than the first day. And I was like, where is all of this stuff coming from? I couldn't believe it. And then they really encouraged me to do the third one. At the time, I was working at a coffee shop and I couldn't afford necessarily to come in for a third session. So I waited a few weeks. I came back. And when I came back, the girl who was supposed to give me a colonic didn't show up. So the previous business owner actually came in and gave me a colonic, and she pretty much interviewed me on the table, asked me what I did, what I'm looking forward to in the future. I was actually going to study to be an occupational therapy assistant. And she told me she's a certified trainer. She can help guide me through the process if this is something I'm open to. And I started working for her. And then about a year after working for her, I bought the business from her because she wanted to retire. So just kind of slided right into it.
Wonderful. Well, now, what do you think are maybe some myths or misconceptions in your industry?
So a big misconception is that, you shouldn't get a colonic because you're going to be depleted of all your electrolytes in your gut microbiome. And one of the reasons why that is a big misconception is because there are some people out there that run sessions that are too long. So one of the things that we do at our clinic is we only run 40-minute sessions. And this is why we encourage people to come back the next day, because normally within 40 minutes, you're probably not going to get everything out. But by waiting till the next day, you're giving your body time to replenish itself so that we're not depleting you. I always tell people a little good can come out with the bad, but that's where I tell people just make sure that you have an electrolyte and a probiotic afterwards, and you're putting anything that would have come out, you're putting right back in. Another misconception is that we could perforate your colon. Again, all these misconceptions are because there are people that maybe they're not as educated, or maybe they don't know what they're doing. Has happened, of course, that's like in any industry, right? But I would say that with that being said, if you have a colon therapist who's experienced, you're not going to get your colon perforated, because we use like rounded tips for the speculum. The only way you would get perforated is if somebody didn't know how to insert their speculum correctly, which we do, so that wouldn't happen to you. I'm trying to think of other things or misconceptions, but those are the two biggest ones. Or some doctors will say, well, your body should naturally detoxify itself. You don't need to do a colon cleanse or something like that. I totally agree. Your body should naturally detoxify itself. But unfortunately, over time, most of us have been exposed to alcohol, processed food, pharmaceutical drugs, stress, and that's how buildup can start to happen on the side of our colon. What I tell people is this is to help assist your body so you can go back to your natural detoxification. We're trying to get rid of that old waste so that you can go back to your normal functioning. We're not trying to replace that detox. We're trying to assist your body to go back to its normal function.
Wow. Now, we know marketing is at the heart of every business. So how are you, finding your patients?
I would say it's a lot of word of mouth, because people will come in. I have a lot of people that come in super nervous, and nobody wants to talk about pooping. Let's be honest. Everybody's very shy about it. They're very uncomfortable about it. And they come and experience our clinic and they can't believe how comfortable they felt. I would say confidently, probably 95% of people that leave go, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And so normally that's where they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to tell my mom about this. I'm going to tell my friend about this. Like, I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. So normally I would say a lot of word of mouth would be huge. A huge demographic would be on Google, people looking up, I'm constipated, or gosh, I'm so sorry. Somebody tried to call me through, I've been feeling constipated. So some people look up on Google or Yelp, something like that. And that's how they end up finding us.
Have you ever thought of doing your own podcast?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Now, outside of work, what do you like to do for fun?
At the moment, me and my husband are actually fostering a child. So she is 1 at the moment. She's like 1.5. So most of the time is spent with her. We love going on walks outside, and we love just spending time together as a family. Me and my husband are both musicians. So when we get the time, we love playing music together, and I would say hanging out with friends. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Melissa, please tell our listeners one thing they should remember about your inner health.
One thing that you should remember about your inner health is that no matter your demographic, whether you're spiritual, you're not spiritual, you're trendy, you're not trendy, no matter what demographic you are, you're welcome here, that everybody is welcome here. And I would say that it's just a very healing environment, no matter where you come from or your demographic.
Wonderful. Well, how can our listeners learn more about your inner health?
There's 2 ways. You could either give me a call. I take phone calls sometimes up to 20 minutes just explaining things to people because people aren't sure about it. So they can either call our business or they can go to our website, which is costamesacolonics.com.
Wonderful. Well, Melissa, I really appreciate you being on the show, and I wish you and your business really the very best moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnporangecounty.com. That's gnporangecounty.com, or call 714-941-8862.